that hard-working men and women get the due that they're owed. We stand for raising minimum wage. We stand for equal rights. We stand for the proposition that everybody's equal, that our children should get a great education, that our children deserve a great education, and we should fund that education properly, that the Rio Grande Valley in general deserves more than it's been dealt over the years. We stand together in the belief that hatred and bigotry will not overcome us. You know, I heard the other day they said Donald Trump is stupid. I said, he's not stupid. I said he's a pretty smart guy that knows what stupid people want to hear. I said the bottom line is that when you look at what fear causes anger. Anger causes hate, and hate nominates Donald Trump. That's what we have. We have been subjected to, listened to, and heard some of the most downright offensive things during this presidential campaign. But I'll tell you, and the senator will come up, and my colleague Bobby Guerra will come up and tell you that what we hear on our national stage is not much different than how we feel and what we hear in Austin. And when we talk about what's important in Texas and to keeping Texas blue, it's imperative that you understand what's at risk, what we're doing, what we fight for, who we fight for, our veterans. You've heard all sorts of mischaracterizations about what's happened in this county, about taxes and this and that. We fought last session to reduce property taxes $600+ million. We fight every day to make sure that our kids and your kids and our families have the health care that they deserve. When you look at what South Texas is, it's a melting pot. We're not about building walls, we're about tearing walls down. I can tell you, and there's many elected officials in here. We've got people running for the 13th court, which was essential. Last session, they tried to divide the 13th court, isolating it, making sure it would have been the Rio Grande Valley court, a Mexican court. We fought hard to make sure that the 13th court kept the integrity and kept the jurisdiction that it had. We fight fights like that don't go widely publicized, but it's a fact. We fight fights that seem to try to segregate and denigrate the Rio Grande Valley and who we are every single day. When we are in Austin, the delegation, we fight to make sure that our rights as an inclusive nature succeed, not fall apart. I will tell you that my opinion is that I've got a Republican opponent who was the chief of staff for former Democrat Aaron Pena, and my colleague Bobby Guerra has an opponent who was the head of the Republican Women's Association, an actual delegate for Donald Trump, is my understanding. I can't seem to swallow anybody actually believing that a bigot can run this country. And that's what we're facing today. And anybody, I believe, and I can say it proudly, I don't know that I want to stand next to anybody or call anybody my friend that would support somebody that wouldn't support us. And that party does not support us. They don't stand for what we stand for. And I can tell you that we are under attack, always. Right now, District 41, Bobby Guerra's seat is under attack. I would say that largely that is probably one of the most important races in South Texas for the Democratic Party. And if you don't know it, know it. They will spend millions of dollars if necessary to get rid of and try to destroy the fact that South Texas is uniformly blue. Remember that, ladies and gentlemen, when you talk about, don't be conformist. Don't say, oh, they're going to win. We need to always stand firm and stand proud and fight with fervor. We cannot sit on our laurels and sit on our hands and say the Democrats are going to win, because they'll sneak up on us. And I will tell you that people like Patrick, Ironini, and Norma, we're so grateful that they have events like this. It's hardworking Democrats in the trenches that go door to door, that walk door to door, that stand for what we stand for, to make sure that our party stays strong. We have to keep fighting. And when I talk about fighting, I'll tell you what. As a young legislator, you get there and I'll tell you, you don't know what you think you know. You aren't as smart as you think you are. And the legislature is full of pitfalls and traps. And I'll tell you that one of the greatest assets that we have is sitting in our room. And when I go to fight for you in Austin, I've got a Marine that fights with me too. So before I call him up to the stage, I want to thank you and thank everybody in here that works hard for the Democratic Party. Because I don't think you could have picked a better word, Rick, the horror. We have seen horrible things, horrible ideas. Slash your public schools, take $4 billion from them. Let's make sure that people who don't even have an ID, elderly people who don't have, make them go to the state police to get an ID so they can exercise their constitutional right to vote. Disenfranchising hundreds of thousands of people. Taking funds away from the people that need them the most, from our children, children's therapy services. I can't fathom who sleeps at night thinking that's a great idea. I'll tell you, if you think that there's not something important or there's not a lot at risk when it comes to who you vote for, look what happens. Look what they've done. And I'll tell you, stand up and make sure, because the front lines, ladies and gentlemen, the front line is here. We are the last Democratic stronghold in the state of Texas. In all sense of the word, we're somewhat like the Alamo, and we need to defend it like the Alamo. So I'll ask you to join me, join all these hardworking people like Patrick and Norma and all these people that dedicate their time, because it's bigger than me and you. It's about our future. It's about our kids. And so with that being said, I'd like to call my good friend, colleague, mentor to the stage, Senator Juan Chuy Hinojosa, combat veteran, Marine, legislative veteran, who fights for you and I all the time. Senator, I'd like to present with you, on behalf of the Hidalgo County Democratic Party, the Certificate of Loyal Democrat to Senator Juan Chuy Hinojosa. Ladies and gentlemen, give this man a round of applause. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. I have all these young guys with me out in Austin. I'm fearless because they're fearless. Thank you. You know, I also have to thank Ricky Salinas. Man, he's a dancer, great attorney, and a singer. Wow, what a star. I'd also like to thank Norma Ramirez, thank all the precinct chairs. I just got back from Corpus Christi, Robstown, Alice, and every aspect of the Democratic Party. It is the precinct chairs, the volunteers, who are the backbone of the Democratic Party. And let's not forget what we stand for, who we are, what we fight for: working families, for equal rights for women, for education, for health care. And we're not afraid to stand on principle on what's best for our families. And I know right now, the issues like the health care district that's divided many of us. I will tell you, united we win, divided we lose. You vote your conscience. You vote your conscience, you vote what's best for your family, for your community. But vote straight Democratic ticket. And don't be misled that we Democrats are tax people. This last session, the Democrats led the fight to cut property taxes by $1.2 billion. We led the fight to cut business taxes by $2.4 billion and reduce business taxes by 25%. All those lies, all those deceptions, exaggerations. And for me, I'm very proud to be a Democrat. And look what's happening and the change taking place in our country. It is such a great change when you have a woman as qualified as Hillary Clinton to be our next president. And who do we have on the other side opposing Hillary? A scoundrel. This man, Mr. Trump, said that we Hispanics are criminals, are rapists, and yet you heard him on tape, sexually assaulting women. Sexually assaulting women. Here we shame, shame, shame with Trump. And y'all repeat after me, shame, shame, shame with Trump. And then he says that he supports our military, our veterans. And what does he do? He makes fun of a Gold Star mother who lost her son in Afghanistan, fighting for our country. That's shameful. Shame, shame, shame. Then he says, well, guess what? I want to see our country great again. Yet, he paid zero taxes to support our police, to support our military, to support our veterans. He'll be shame, shame, shame of himself. And then he says, well, he really respects women, especially Latinas. And what does he do? He embarrasses a candidate for Miss America because she gained weight. She gained weight. Can you imagine that? This man has no respect for women. He'll be shame, shame, shame on him. And for us, it is amazing what's going on with this man. He says, you know, I'm rich. I make a lot of money. I'm smart. But what it doesn't tell you, he declared bankruptcy 3 times and not paid his small business bills to the small business people, didn't pay his employees, didn't pay any of his bills. Guess who picked up the tab? We did. Shame, shame, and shame on him. And this man really doesn't know how to tell the truth. He's a scoundrel who lies, exaggerates, and makes fiction into truth. So for us, we must not allow this man to become president. It will be an embarrassment for our country. And as you all know, women in this world have led our other powerful nations, our powerful countries, India, Germany, Great Britain, and next will be Hillary Clinton, our president. Elections have consequences. When we vote up in Austin, when the votes are taken in Washington, D.C., look at who votes for our families, who votes against our interests. Do not be misled by the rhetoric. Do not be misled by the lies. Look at the voting record, and you'll see who stands with us as the Democratic Party, who's always fought for our families, our working people, and the future of our children. Again, united, we win. Divided, we lose. Let's stay together and elect Hillary and all the Democrats that are on the balance this coming session. This coming election.